What made you run away, so that La ilaha illallah is not proclaimed? Is there a deity worthy of worship except Allah? What made you run away so that Allahu Akbar is not proclaimed? Is there anything greater than Allah? I proclaimed my Islam, and I saw his face radiate with pleasure. And he said, Inna al-maghduba alayhim al-yahud, wa inna al-dhalin al-nasara. This hadith was also collected by At-Tirmidhi, who said that it is Hasan Garib. Also, when Zayd bin Amr bin Nufail went with some of his friends before Islam to Sham seeking the true religion, the Jews said to him, You will not become a Jew unless you carry a share of the anger of Allah that we have earned. He said, I am seeking to escape Allah's anger. Also, the Christians said to him, If you become one of us, you will carry a share in Allah's discontent. He said, I cannot bear it. So he remained in his pure nature and avoided worshipping the idols and the polytheistic practices. He became neither a Jew nor Christian. As for his companions, they became Christians because they found it more pure than Judaism. Waraqah bin Nawfal was among these people until Allah guided him by the hand of his prophet when he was sent as prophet, and Waraqah believed in the revelation that was sent to the prophet. May Allah be pleased with him. The summary of Al-Fatiha. The Honorable Surah Al-Fatiha contains 7 ayat, including the praise and thanks of Allah, glorifying Him and praising Him by mentioning His most beautiful names and most high attributes. It also mentions the hereafter, which is the day of resurrection, and directs Allah's servants to ask of Him, invoking Him and declaring that all power and strength comes from Him. It also calls to the sincerity of the worship of Allah alone, singling Him out in His divinity, believing in His perfection, being free from the need of any partners, having no rivals nor equals. Al-Fatiha directs the believers to invoke Allah to guide them to the straight path, which is the true religion, and to help them remain on that path in this life, and to pass over the actual sirat on the Day of Judgment. On that day, the believers will be directed to the gardens of comfort in the company of the prophets, the truthful ones, the martyrs, and the righteous. Al-Fatiha also encourages performing good deeds, so that the believers will be in the company of the good doers on the day of resurrection. The surah also warns against following the paths of misguidance, so that one does not end up being gathered with those who indulge in sin on the day of resurrection, including those who have earned the anger and those who were led astray. The bounties are because of Allah, not the deviations, Allah said, Sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim, when He mentioned His favor. On mentioning anger, Allah said, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, of those who earned your anger, without mentioning the subject, although it is He who has sent down the anger on them, just as Allah stated in another ayah, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ تَوَلَّوْا قَوْمًا غَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ, not seen those who take as friends a people upon whom is the wrath of Allah. Also, Allah relates the misguidance of those who indulged in it, although they were justly misguided according to Allah's appointed destiny. For instance, Allah said, مَنْ يَهْدِ اللَّهُ فَهُوَ الْمُهْتَدِ وَمَنْ يُضْلِلْ فَلَنْ تَجِدَ لَهُ وَلِيًّا مُرْشِدًا, to lead him. And مَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَلَا هَادِيَ لَهُ وَيَذْرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. These and several other ayat testify to the fact that Allah alone is the one who guides and misguides, contrary to the belief of the Qadariya sect, who claim that the servants choose and create their own destiny. They rely on some unclear ayat, avoiding what is clear and contradicts their desires. Theirs is the method of the people who follow their lust, desire, and wickedness. An authentic hadith narrated, إِذَا رَأَيْتُمُ الَّذِينَ يَتَّبِعُونَ مَا تَشَابَهَ مِنْهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ سَمَّى اللَّهُ فَاحْذَرُوهُمْ, then they are those whom Allah has mentioned. Hence, avoid them. The Prophet ﷺ was referring to Allah's statement, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ زَيْغٌ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ مَا تَشْبَهَ مِنْهُ ابْتِغَاءَ الْفِتْنَةِ وَابْتِغَاءَ تَأْوِيلِهِ. They follow that which is not entirely clear thereof, seeking al-fitna, and seeking for its hidden meanings.